and he was safely. Also, a temple had risen out of the empty desert. The Iblis. It was a dangerous
alguns caminhos mal resolvidos
its user into a bloodthirsty monster.
Caminho descairoto, assim.
To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. Every child knew about the Sky River.
Vamos atrás da armadurinhas.
As he set foot in the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lupino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? What?
Vamos da arma do Sky Reaper.
Trusting his old friend Lupino, he'd reached so many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What's up with that guy anyway?
O Sky Reaper que eu já tenho, né? Que engraçado.
Engineers dreamed anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky River had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. Why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He'd no idea. truth is, though, you wanted to see it, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because to know your enemy, or maybe he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about it, but their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless maybe he could find a way to make a dog fight. Surely he could, couldn't he? Not really. Renata really didn't want to become a shawarma, or shish oak for that matter. He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? She'd be expecting him, and he didn't have Latino to cook up a clever plan. Why wasn't he again? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar. The Swordfu School was closed now, but he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. He knew the alley behind it much too well. No wonder Zenobia had chosen to invade this. Renata slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek, how soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She vanished. And he suddenly noticed he couldn't move, except his mouth. In fact, soon he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Zenobia everything. Skyward, the Iblistone, even where the secret rebel base was, until he was hoarse. Some kind of truth. Nonsense! It's a trap! Shouted the Emperor. I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators. If Renata came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father.
Seu pai, eu poderia mostrar evidências de loucura, mas eles precisariam pagar uma visita aos cientistas no Nexus. Ele sabia exatamente o que eles iam para fazer entender.
You're lying, she said. Somehow you're lying. The spell hadn't worn off yet. He had to tell the truth. The trick.
Eu não sei se é esse de cima ou se é o outro. A gente vai saber no próximo. Senão eu já vou fazer um final que eu já fiz e isso não é legal, porque a gente vai perder um vídeo.
It was a short, safe landing. At least this part of the Nexus hadn't changed too much. Zenobia had been taking him to the Imperial Army. She'd never expected to go there by himself. Well, maybe she would. You never knew with her. Renata felt ready to take on new powers.
Upamos de level. Tomara que no final desse a gente ganhe mais um level, que aí vai ser bem mais fácil. Vamos manter com a nossa espadinha verde. Oito batalhas para soltar um level.
Bernardo knew Zenobia, and Zenobia knew him. She'd suspected a trick. Now he'd vanished. She would probably guess that was his plan all along. Perfect. Maybe she wouldn't use the Sky Ripper. At least not without taking it to the scientists at the observatory first. Meanwhile, the Emperor would be coming to the outpost personally. This could be good. Bernardo was face to face with the Emperor's bodyguard. They looked very tough, but the Emperor held them back.
Oh, where's my daughter?
And how would I know that? Bernardo grinned at him.
She lured me here so that you could kill me, didn't she?
Ah, don't be ridiculous, said Bernardo, trying his best to sound convincing. She loves you.
Oh, I knew it.
The rabbit told me I couldn't trust her. The Emperor hopped out the door. His phalanx of bodyguards retreated carefully. Bernardo heard someone call, "Arrest her!" as they left. Well, that's a job well done, thought Bernardo. Now the fleet will be in all sorts of disarray. But maybe he could find her in the mountains. She always used to go to the mountains to hide from the world. Maybe he could even turn her against her father. Or maybe he could reap the benefits of the chaos he inflicted. It was time to report to the rebel council.
Fizemos o certo.
And launch the attack on a divided, very confused Imperial fleet.
Reporte sucesso ao terceiro.
Very proud of himself. He told the Empire everything. But now they didn't believe anything, and it looked like the Emperor didn't trust his daughter anymore either. There were some advantages to having a slippery reputation, weren't there?
É. Reinaldo. Minha língua tava roxa. Não é não, viu?
Bernardo wondered if he'd really fooled the Empire. He guessed he'd know soon enough. If the skies darkened with 1,000 dropships, then he'd know the Empire believed his map of the rebel base's secret location. They certainly seemed to be looking for it. There were ravens everywhere. But where went there ravens these days?
Vamos aumentar nossa distância. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Vai faltar mais agora? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. Meu Deus, cada vez tem mais. Tá bom. Nem vou mais olhar isso.
Hypatia had known about the book she protected. Enough to tell her son to protect it. Enough to tell Renato to protect her son. He'd let her down. The Ravens divided into two armies and slaughter each other. Then the rebellion would just show up, claim victory. Overjoyed that Renato had given away all their secrets. See? It was actually very fine weather, except for the occasional shower of ravens. And no one was burning ruins down with the might and power of the God's eye. If the Empire believed anything he said, they certainly weren't showing it.
Eu odeio esses caras, mano. Ah, morri de novo.
He said to no one in particular as he died. The eyes have had it.
Morreu.
Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Eita, agora só dar golpe em cara, viu? Nem precisa pegar outro caminho lá, porque a gente já fez a última escolha, que vai dar direito a ver mais no final.
He began to realize they weren't laughing, just staring at him with those big bug eyes.
Zenobia let you escape?
Asked the speaker.
How do you know you're not a double agent?
Then I wouldn't tell you about it at all.
Maybe you're trying to sound like an idiot,
So we don't realize how clever you are, croaked the speaker. No, I promise you, I really am that much of an idiot. Renato was about to say when a half-dozen Imperial ships began to bomb the base.
He's betrayed us!
Croaked the Toads, and Renato decided it would be good to be somewhere else. He boarded the Farfarer and got out of there. The wind ruffled Renato's fur the wrong way. So the rebels thought he was lying too? Because a half-dozen lousy dropships had probably just tripped over the rebel base? Okay, technically he had betrayed his location, but not willingly. And he'd made up for it, hadn't he? Then something exploded. A cannon shot. The Farfarer plunged out of the clouds. The rebels had hit his ship. As the Farfarer plummeted towards the abyss, he launched himself into the sails of an Imperial ship.
Nossa, achei que ia morrer. Desculpa, gente. Vamos lá.
Pharaoh was gone. It had been a beautiful ship. And fast. He could do the Kestra run in 12 furlongs. So the salesman had told it. He would show them. He would be the hero of the final battle. They'd know whose side he was on then. That's what it meant to be a hero. To go on fighting, even when both sides were trying to kill you. Renato had a feeling that was the back door to something. But what?
Já que não faz mais diferença a espada, não. Vamos que estamos demorando no final.
See? Rebels were fighting ravens everywhere. Not a single weapon in sight. No one was summoning giant murder birds out of the clouds. There were no locusts, no rain of fire. Something blew up nearby. And Canal decided it was not time to stop and ponder. Just as well. He liked acting much better than pondering.
O bicho que me mata nesse jogo é o bicho do olho lá. O restante é suave. Mais um final emocionantíssimo.
Finally, Renato reached the Emperor's ship, and there he saw a strange sight. Zenobia being led in shackles by Lapino with a squad of ravens. What? Lapino was working with the ravens? Was he some sort of traitor? Of course Lapino was working with the ravens. But the Emperor still thought Zenobia was a traitor. Renato felt oddly bad about that. Should he run down there and rescue her? Oh, but she was the enemy. Then he heard a whistling sound. He looked straight up and saw a rebel ship. It was dropping rather large bombs. One of them kept getting bigger as it fell. Huh? Oh.
Beleza. Morri mais uma vez. Fizemos a primeira história. Um herói que continua lutando mesmo quando os dois lados estão tentando matá-lo. O circo voador. Mas é isso, galera. A gente finaliza mais um vídeo aqui. Ainda temos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pra gente finalizar aqui todas as nossas histórias, né? Temos o 3, o 11, o 16 e o 17. Então, a gente continua no próximo episódio. Pra você que tá acompanhando, continue acompanhando, tá? E a gente continua no próximo episódio. Valeu, galera. Tchau, tchau.